repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Now take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Yeah. So take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Here we go. We come together, we come together, we come together
In the name of
love.
we come together,
we come together,
we come together,
come together,
we come together in the name of. I was looking for the big finish, you guys. Come on. Teresa James, everyone, let's give her some love. Hi, Fiddly D, a musician's life for thee. She worked very hard this weekend, so we're delighted to have her with us today, along with our assistant minister, the wonderful Reverend Nancy Woods. And it's great to have all of you joining us online. Let's give them some love for the folks online, yeah? So if this is your first time joining us, I'm Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the senior minister here. You've tuned in to the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. We're located in the North San Fernando Valley, a faith community where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. So we're delighted to have you here with us online, in person. Let's batten down the hatches, and we'll start by taking a deep breath. And release. In that release, just allowing ourselves to let go of the concerns of the outside world, the concerns of the day that God is here, and claim this moment as our own as we come together for our calls to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. And that fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course, within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
As we embrace this moment, we embrace this light within each one of us. The light of truth, right above. The light of wonder of how life continuously unfolds according to our belief and understanding of it. So as we step into this hour together, we are open and receptive to our spiritual presence coming forth as our consciousness, allowing us to receive that which we need to receive, share that which needs to be shared, embrace that which needs to be embraced. As we understand and experience the awareness that this divine presence, this wisdom of the universe, is truly the essence of our own being, we allow ourselves to embrace and appreciate who and what we are as we step into this hour, knowing that what it does is expanded through the music, through each and every aspect of it, what we share with each other, the message that is delivered. Each and everything is us expanding the newness of Spirit itself. As we know and understand, this moment is the most beautiful moment that there is. And the love of being here and being in the spiritual presence of the divine in a greater, more expanded way appeals to us all. So we open ourselves to it. We let it unfold. Let it say yes to life. As it brings forth the awareness and consciousness of gratitude, for we know that the greater good is ours to embrace. And we do so as we let it unfold and acknowledge of this wonderful hour that we are stepping into. We say together, and so it is. Good morning. I'm kind of, when I had chosen what I was going to share this morning was about forgiveness. And And so this morning in the first service, I shared it. And then Reverend Mike did this talk. And it made me think, oh, well, shoot. Maybe I ought to let some of that go. It made it kind of hard to hold on to it. Because I realized that the concept that I was thinking about was forgiveness and vacillated. I don't know, a lot of you know that I've been dealing with helping people that are going through life challenges health-wise. So as a practitioner and emotional-wise too, as a practitioner, I was kind of like, okay, can I get it together to come with the idea of lifting them up with treatment and helping them? And I felt like I was vacillating with this judgment of myself that I wanted to be better. So what I realized when he was sharing this morning, that may be some ego in there. Because that ego likes to fix things. So but I do know that the concept of forgiveness is one of the most beautiful tools that we have been gifted with. Because in so many ways, it helps me to let go of the past, let go of my judgment, and reach for what I want to experience and what I want to embrace and what I enjoy, and bring the joy up and bring it forward. And sometimes when I'm in the situation, I feel like I'm evaluating my life from out there instead of from in here. Because I know with everything that I can think of right now, it must be some fiber in my being that doesn't quite get it, that the love, the joy, and the peace and the harmony of life that I'm reaching for is in me, and it's in each and every person that I experience. And that's the truth. And I'm realizing that this journey is embracing that truth as being real and knowing that it is how we live. I am grateful to be in a place where I kind of feel like my life is reflecting it in a lot of ways. But I also realize that when I see people in their struggles, that's part of the oneness of life shows up again and says, okay, what is it I need to know? What is it I need to embrace? And today I'm all right with that. I don't mind asking myself that. I don't knock myself for not knowing it. Thank you. I get that. Yeah. This morning I didn't quite get it, but I got it. And sharing the idea that forgiveness is a wondrous tool is still something I want to say. And I don't know how you deal with it or how other people deal with it individually, but it is a wondrous tool that I know that anybody that uses it, I have to tell you, love is the answer. Forgiveness is letting go of anything that is not about loving. So it is something to really embrace. And thank you for letting me share my understanding of it. Thank you.
my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of a brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am not mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light.
Just beautiful. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you very much. I think I'm supposed to be doing announcements. And the first thing on there is that there is always a practitioner available. And if you want to contact one, you're able at CSLGH.org on our website. Or if you want a 2-minute tune-up, you can always tap one on the shoulder on Sunday. Wednesday, June the 4th at 7 p.m., Reverend Maureen and I are having another discussion group, and we invite you to join us. It's just interesting to talk about spirituality and with each other, and it's amazing how many different views we can have of the same thing. And but it's also good to express it, because then we hear where we are with it. So join us. And on June 5th, Nancy resumes her Tai Chi. So you're welcome to join her at 11:30 to exercise and to, feel your chi and find out how it's expressing. We want you to save the date on August the 9th, when we will celebrate the memory of Marty Lath. And so we invite you all to reserve that date, and details to follow. And That's all. And Barbara, you want to give us our thank you note for today?
Okay, hello, everybody. Okay, my friend picked it out, Marlena, and it says, I am grateful for every breath.
Oh,
Yeah, good one.
nice to do. So, would you stand and say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal too, and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul, forever expanding. We believe in eternal goodness, eternal loving kindness, and the forgiveness of life to all.
Y'all sing with me now. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am one with God. I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I am one with God. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am one with God. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am one with God.
That's very pink, huh? So it's a new month, June. I was telling the first service, my mother was English, and she had this thing that on the first of the month, if the first thing you said was white rabbits, then you'd have a good month. Anybody else hear of that? Maybe she just made that shit up then. I forgot to say it today, so I'm gonna stay home the rest of the month. And happy graduation season to the students, the parents, and especially the teachers. You made it through another school year. Yay. Daniel, yeah, you made it. Are you done yet?
Almost 1 week.
One more week. All right. All right. Well, don't drink for one more week. All right. So, well, congratulations. Yeah. Not that he would. That was just a joke. Yeah. And so we do have a couple of other announcements. So we're going to be observing Juneteenth on the 18th, which is a Wednesday night. And then Wayne, who has the singing bowls, will be on the 25th of the month. So this is a new development, and that's being facilitated by, let's see, Salam, Reverend Nancy, Beverly Scott, Kitty Hack, and Terry is going to help with the music along with Jason Goldstein. So it'll be an evening of music, spoken word, little history, and I just want to point out, for all us blue state Californians, Texas has been doing Juneteenth for a lot longer, so you got to give them their props. So now it's a national thing. So I'm actually looking forward to see what everybody pulls together. And so I will be there. So it's June 1st, the new theme. The theme for the month is In Living Color. The talk title today is In Living Color. But before we start with that, let's start with this affirmation together. I fully embrace the spectrum of my human experience. Okay, together. I fully embrace the spectrum of my human experience. Okay, one more time like you mean it. I fully embrace the spectrum of my human experience. Now I believe it. Yes, and of course we're speaking to Living Color, so, but first I have to point out this chameleon. Pretty cool, right? Anybody here remember Creedence Clearwater? You keep on changing your face like a chameleon. All right, they can actually do this, I guess. I'm not ready for Mancini yet, but, I'm working on it. All right. So In Living Color was also a TV show in 1990 through the early 90s. Yeah, so taken from what was then a groundbreaking show developed by Keenan Ivory Wayans and his family, very talented family. So this show gave us not only the Wayan brothers and Sister Kim, but it also gave us David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson, Jim Carrey, and the Fly Girls, of which Jennifer Lopez was one, and Rosie Perez was the choreographer. So a lot of standout performers came out of that show, and some others I'm probably forgetting about. It was groundbreaking for sure, somewhat edgy. I would say in some ways really edgy. I loved their movie reviews, and it was so it was edgy for the time, mostly funny, occasionally hilarious. And so I wanted to share this with you, though, because these notes come from us this month from Reverend Elijah Christopher up at CSL Santa Cruz, and Casey Taylor, who used to be over at Spirit Works as Reverend Karen Frost. Now she's going by Casey Taylor, and I think she's out of OKC. So, so In Living Color, cool show. These are the lyrics from the opening song. So you can walk on the moon, float like a balloon. You see, it's never too late and it's never too soon. Take it from me, it's all right to be in living color. All right. How would you feel knowing prejudice was obsolete and all mankind danced to the exact beat? And at night it was safe to walk down the street in living color. You can do what you want to do. You guys sound like a bunch of Catholics out there. All right. Oh, cancel, I didn't say that. All right. So it's a pretty profound lyric for a TV show that I never heard that stuff in real time. Now, Wikipedia says this about In Living Color, that it portrayed a form of irreverent black humor at a time when mainstream American tastes regarding black comedy on television had been set by inoffensive family-friendly shows such as The Cosby Show, causing an eventual feud for control between Fox executives and the Wayans. So yeah, In Living Color was definitely not The Cosby Show. But that's okay, because it's a both-and situation. So one was kind of edgy with a little more street stuff, and of course, the great thing about The Cosby Show was showing, a professional African-American couple with their families, and that the issues that they had were similar to what all parents are dealing with. So I think its biggest contribution along with that was in showcasing black talent on TV. It helped chip away at the default whiteness, if you will, of TV at the time, and it also had a commitment to showcasing other marginalized groups, right? The show was committed to diversity. So it had Hispanic and other groups on there as well. Now, Wayans at the time took a hit from critics because he was making comedic tropes about the black community at the time. And in his defense, he said, you know, half of comedy is making fun of stereotypes. Woody Allen has been having fun with his culture for years, and no one says anything about it. Martin Scorsese basically deals with the Italian community. John Hughes, all of his films parody the upscale white suburban life, and nobody says anything to him. So when I do it, you know, then all of a sudden it becomes a racial issue. And he said, you know what I mean? It's my culture, and I'm entitled to poke fun at the stereotypes that I didn't create in the first place. I would add also that you must be really comfortable in your own skin enough to put that all out there. You know, when I think about some of these artists, like Taylor Swift gets a lot of hits, probably just because she's successful, frankly. But you know, she's been doing this stuff since she was a kid, and to have the guts to get up there and do that, or any other person who can get up there, but particularly young people who can get up there and do that kind of thing. You know, to be comfortable enough in your own skin and to believe in your project, to believe in your vision, no matter what that is, enough to be to stand up there and be seen doing it. So perhaps that's why we appreciate performing artists so much, right? Because not only do they have the vision, but they have the swagger to step into it and present it to everyone. And particularly comedians. You know, the good comedians push the edge. They absolutely do. You know, I'm thinking about Richard Pryor in my, era. Definitely pushed it. George Carlin definitely pushed it. Remember the 7 things you never hear on television? My dad rushed to the record player and ripped that record off the... Yeah. Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, right? But the thing about comedians and comedy, it's a relief valve for all kinds of cultural stuff that we struggle with. And they kind of give a voice to the struggle, bringing humor to it. Now, one of the unintended consequences of our recognition of the pain of marginalized groups has been this censoring of people and what they're saying, particularly in comedy, but also in other arts, but censoring of, or maybe even self-censoring of comedians. But comedians have always worked the edge. I think that's why we connect with them so much. And where it's not helpful is when a dominant group starts appropriating other cultural tropes for its own comedic themes. Because, it's one thing to point out the irony in the human condition. It's another thing to make a mockery of a group of people. So I think Irish jokes are funny until an Englishman tells me one. Yeah. So, but having a sense of humor is an absolute must if we are to enjoy life. Because if God doesn't have a sense of humor, we're all sunk, right? So here's just a few oddballs in God's creations. And look at these things. That's some kind of a blind mole crawling on a guy's arm. I don't even remember what this thing is, cross between an ostrich and a shrew, I think. This is called a saiga. It's an antelope with, well, it's got nasal issues, poor fellow. And then this is a star-nosed shrew. Those are hands down below. I know you can't make this stuff up in science fiction. This could only come out of the creative mind of the Most High, yeah? So not to mention the platypus. So, but these photos are funny. Yeah, I know, isn't that wild? These, a face only a mother could love. These photos are funny only from a human perspective. Okay, so right now, this little antelope, he's thinking, I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love. So the point is, there's room enough for everyone and everything in God's world, that we must learn to navigate life in spite of challenges. Think about how boring life would be if we were all the same. Imagine turning on the radio and hearing the same music on every channel. You know what you call that? The 70s. So bringing these ideas, I lived them, believe me. So bring just the arena rock. Okay, so these, the hair band, maybe that was the 80s, the big hair bands. Yeah. Not your band. Okay. So bringing these ideas to the teaching of the science of mind and spirit, how would that be? Good idea today? Yeah. So one of the great gifts of the teaching is the discovery of who we are, who we really are. And who we really are is the incarnation of a movement of thought set loose from divine mind. And so is everyone and everything else. That there's really no room for self-pity or resentment. That's all living in the past. The creative impulse of life is ever moving forward, and so must we. We must release old ways of thinking or experiencing the world through the lens of old thinking. And as we do the work of offloading old thought forms that no longer serve us, or maybe even no longer serve the common good, we shall know a new freedom and a new happiness. In making our way in life, Holmes once wrote that we shall find that for the first time in life, we really care, but that the sting will have gone. Refuse to have feelings hurt. Refuse yourself the pleasure and morbidity of sensitiveness. Come out of the emotional intoxication and be yourself. Come out of the emotional intoxication and be yourself. Now, you may not believe this about me, but I have anger issues. You know, I'm so glad you didn't really laugh like the first service did. But what I know about that is that I was working on that before I even came here, because I knew that I was being triggered far too easily. And put a couple of, Grande Starbucks in me, I was a live wire. I was the hammer looking for a nail. And of course, righteous anger, that was the best kind. I could wear myself off working a good vein of righteous anger. Oof. Right, that emotional intoxication, I really do think I was addicted to anger. That I had allowed, that was the only emotion, I think, that I really allowed myself to feel. Where behind there was some insecurity, feeling disrespected, not being paid enough money, and she doesn't get me. All this, and it was all external stuff, except for the insecurity. Right? If we're feeling insecure about stuff, it's not about the outside world, right? That's about us. And just like going to the gym, We can't pay Brian to go over and do our sit-ups for us. We're going to have to get in there and do them ourselves. The same thing is true with our mental practice, with our spiritual practice. So, to come out of our emotional intoxication, this is the rallying cry for us all in some measure. So with this Juneteenth thing, with I'm just going to say the struggle, our African American brothers and sisters have shown us a way out of that. And this month is also Pride Month. And so the gay community, with all its letters, this group has also shown us a way. I can never remember all of them, except now I know there's a new thing in front of them, the 2S, which is the two-spirit, comes out of the indigenous folks who apparently had accommodations for people who are of two spirits. So we'll explore that later on in the month, because frankly, I got to get a little more familiar with it. So what is called for in this new order of thought is to create a field of mind and create a field of heart, a field of love, where all people can come to themselves and be and authentically and fully realize about who they are and not what I think they should be, not what we or you think they should be. They need to be who they are and not act the way I think they should act. What I want for myself, I want for all people. And that really needs to be the basic tenet of any spiritual community. And frankly, sometimes it just isn't. Our spiritual community is not here for us to justify judging others in any way. It just really is not. To have a spiritual community that supports us in being courageous in our self-exploration, right? To be courageous in thinking from a place of discovery, rather than a fear of being nudged into thinking a new thought in a new or different way, perhaps. To be willing to own our own story. Brene Brown, the popular writer and research psychologist, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we'll ever do. And this, whether we realize it or not, this is what we are attempting to do in every science of mind class that we teach. Because science of mind is really spiritual psychology, right? It's, yes, we look at the psychological condition, which is all affect, by the way, which is a secondary cause, to work to first cause, to find the spiritual aspect underneath it, which we could just simply ask ourselves, what would love do? What would love do? What would love think? How would love act? So, owning our own story through that process is the bravest thing we can ever do. And of course, it starts with ourselves, in our relationships with our spouses. So this is the elephant guy. I guess you'd have to be there. I guess I'm starting to age out of my humor. So it starts with ourselves, in our relationships with our spouses, our children, parents. At some point, we're going to have to release our parents to who they are also, right? Which is kind of a crazy thought. After all, they spent our lifetime sharing their aspirations upon us. But those aspirations work in both ways. We have aspirations that we put upon our parents as well. And it's sometimes difficult to step out of that dynamic. And I have to say for myself that I enjoyed my father a lot more when I loved him for who he was instead of whom I wanted him to be, and vice versa. We want to love people for who they are. We want to see them as they wish to be seen, to be respected, honored, even cherished for who they are. This is why we're acknowledging Juneteenth. And if you don't know about it, join us on Wednesday, June 18th. So we're honoring Juneteenth on the 18th. And to celebrate the resiliency of a people who move forward in spite of adversity, and to look at the tragic story that we shared together through our ancestors and how we can redress that if possible. We are also celebrating Pride Month for this month of June, which is really celebrating the diversity of all life in its myriad of forms. And our spiritual community is committed to welcoming all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. Because what's important is not who you love, but rather that you love. Not who you love, but rather that you love. And this is a great lesson for all, whether in committed relationship or not, right? We can be lovers of humanity without being in committed relationship. And frankly, I think this is only logical. And Holmes wrote this: it should be considered right. It should be considered right to live and to enjoy living, to be well, happy, and to express freedom, is to be in accord with divine law and wisdom. So, as Teresa makes her way, maybe you can noodle that I am love thing behind us.
Sure.
And then you can take your song and do that when we're done. So just take a breath with me. So as we move forward from this day today, let's explore what it would be to bring more joy into our life, to access that space within us that maybe up until now we've been chewing on some old resentment that may need some forgiveness work on. Whether that's directed towards ourselves or others, to the outer world even, and to remember, I am light, I am light. So let's sing with Teresa for 10 measures. I am light, I am light. So put your hand over your heart if you would. Take a breath. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. So now we're bringing our loved ones into this light. Bringing our spiritual community into this light. I am light, I am light. Bringing our nation into this light. I am light, I am light. And so we're knowing by accessing this light, aligning with it, that right here, right now, in this moment, we are allowing the creative impulse of life to have its way with us, that our lives is but a vessel for the infinite power and presence of the Most High to make itself known in every aspect of life, that we are experiencing radiant good health in all of its forms, abundant prosperity, career paths that are not only challenging but are fulfilling in every way, and that we are resting comfortably in the divine flow of life in ways that are wildly prosperous. And so as we know this truth in this moment, we take it through the rest of this day, cultivate the feeling tone of that, take that light into our week, and report back next week and see how we did.
You with those sad eyes, don't be discouraged or realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all. The darkness inside can make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. Your true colors, that's why I love you. Don't be afraid to let them show the true colors. True colors are beautiful. Like a rainbow. Show me a smile then. Don't be unhappy. I can't remember when I saw you laughing in a world makes you crazy. You've taken all you can bear, and just call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. 'Cause I see your true colors shining through. The true colors, that's why I love you. Now don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors. I see your true colors shining through. Your true colors, that's why I love you. Now don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Like a rainbow. Beautiful.
Teresa James, everyone, a little more love. So be sure to put some love in the chat, those of you watching at home. And so as we prepare our gifts for the offering, if you've come prepared with a gift this morning, just make your way to the basket if you will. And for those of you online, if you take a moment to head over to PayPal and leave us a little something, that'd be great. We're going to sing you in.
Sing with me, y'all. Spirit gives Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Oh, Spirit lives and breathes through us.
Going within for just a moment or two longer, as we recognize the basket represents both the generous heart, the giving heart of the individual, the receptive heart of this spiritual community. The generous heart of the individual who knows and knows that they know that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so as spiritual community, we accept these gifts by whatever method your generosity finds its way to the center, through here in the offering this morning, through online giving, through bill pay, however it gets here, that as spiritual community, we just receive all these gifts with deep love and appreciation as we recognize together that these gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this center, but anyone connected to it in any way. From this place of gratitude, we extend a blessing and glad tidings to our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well in some wonderfully crazy cosmic way, that the diversity of life, the creative impulse of life, we see manifest in all of its various forms, both great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power that both propel us and pull us into a vision of spiritual community that raise not only our own life, but the lives of those around us as well. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. So let's give Teresa James some more love, shall we? Look for her on Spotify. Her band's name is the Rhythm Tramps. I love that name. Best name ever. And great band. So if you think she's good on Sunday, you got to see her in action, man. Because she can play and she wails. So, yeah, and it's really fun. It's a great band. And let's give some love to our wonderful assistant minister, Reverend Nancy. And give yourselves some love. You made it to church. Good job. All right. Let's get out of here, Rev. Pray us out.
All right. So it's with a grateful heart that we say thank you to the spiritual presence of life that have delivered us this beautiful music, this beautiful message. And know we go forth to live it, to know and to understand that the joy in our heart can come forth at all times. And so with appreciation and embracing the idea that we are truly spirit in expression, we say together, and so it is.
All right, you guys want to stand up and join in the circle and help me sing the peace song.